Thanks for checking out the PsycHope Self-Help podcast, now on YouTube. Our podcast launched on most major podcast directories back in December of 2022. And as of December 2023, we're making our episodes available for all the lovely people who prefer listening to podcasts on YouTube. There may be times when the dates don't match up, so thank you in advance for your understanding. Please refer to the video description for links to any resources discussed during the show. We'll be sure to point you in the right direction. Earlier this holiday season, the PsycHope Self-Help podcast hosted the 12 Days of Holiday Stress Relief Audio Summit. For 12 days straight, I had the honor of interviewing compassionate women, all thought leaders with a background in mental health, with the goal of understanding how they see holiday stress impact the women they serve. And I was sure to ask for all their tips on how to navigate the many forms that holiday stress can take. If you weren't able to join us live, then I have some good news for you. All the talks from the summit are waiting for you in our private podcast. Just head on over to psychope.com/12 days to get access to the 12 Days of Holiday Stress Relief Audio Summit private podcast. There's still plenty of time to listen to all the interviews and benefit from the insights and tips that were shared. Let us guide you through a transformative journey, helping you navigate the holiday hustle and reclaim the joy of the season. Again, please visit psychope.com/12 days to get your access to the summit, or just click the link in the show notes. Hello and welcome. You're listening to the PsycHope Self-Help podcast, a space for women where psychology illuminates paths to healing, hope, and personal growth. I'm Dr. Jennifer McManus, a clinical psychologist, and I'll be your host. Each episode, we'll explore a different way to use psychology to enhance emotional wellness. Hope you enjoy the show. Hey there! It's episode 36. At the time this episode will be going live, we'll be right in the middle of the winter holiday season. And this is a special time of year around here because it was last December that the PsycHope Self-Help podcast officially launched. At that time, we did a few introductory and foundational types of episodes, then went right into the 12 Days of Holiday Stress Relief series. That was when I brought you quick, bite-sized episodes on ways to manage holiday stress for 12 days straight. You may have heard the announcement already, but just in case you didn't, we're keeping the holiday stress relief tradition going strong. This year, the PsycHope Self-Help podcast sponsored the 12 Days of Holiday Stress Relief Audio Summit. This was right after Thanksgiving through the first week of December. I had the distinct honor of interviewing 12 compassionate women, all thought leaders with a background in psychology or mental health, to learn how they see stress impact the women they serve over the holidays. Plus, I was sure to ask about all of their self-help tips for navigating the many different forms that holiday stress can take. Many of our podcast listeners signed up to join us as the daily interviews dropped. But just in case you missed joining the summit live with us, I have some good news for you. All of the interviews are still available on the private podcast that hosted the summit for us. There's still plenty of time to benefit from the wisdom shared during the summit. So just head on over to psychope.com/12 days to get access to the private podcast for the 12 Days of Holiday Stress Relief Audio Summit. What I'd like to do for today's episode is to share some of the themes that emerged during the summit. I, of course, want to strike a balance of giving you a little preview of the topics we explored, but not spoil any of the goodness waiting for you over on the private podcast. So let's start with some of the themes I noticed in terms of how holiday stress shows up for the women our guest experts support. First, we have this pressure for the holidays to be perfect. This pressure to make everything perfect can come from different sources. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's from certain movie plots. maybe it's from unrealistic pressure we put on ourselves. I like to refer to this as the illusion of perfection. Whatever the source, the pressure of the perfect holiday season weighs heavily on many women. Another theme that almost every guest expert discussed was how all those tasks that are involved with making holiday magic happen typically fall on women. We have holiday decorating, wrapping presents, and don't forget about all that holiday baking. We're in the area of mental load here. So we were quite fortunate to have Dr. Sarah G. gift the summit with her 3 tips for sharing the mental load during the holidays. Another theme that emerged was the challenge of navigating food over the holiday season. Here on the PsycHope Self-Help podcast, we've discussed how stress can impact our appetites, whether it's losing our appetite or the all too familiar stress eating. On the summit, we had 2 guest experts, Claudia Parolini and Natalia Buchanan, take us on deep dives on the topic of emotional eating over the holidays. Now, just like how on this podcast, it's really important to us not only to list problems, but also offer some potential solutions by way of self-help tips. The 12 Days of Holiday Stress Relief Audio Summit took a similar approach. One theme that emerged in the area of tips for navigating holiday stress was practicing mindfulness. And again, I don't want to spoil the unique spins on holiday mindfulness that were shared. So I'll just encourage you to check out Kristen Tan's interview, where she discussed how we can slow down in the kitchen and nourish not only our bodies, but nourish our whole selves in the kitchen. Also, on the theme of holiday mindfulness, I want to point you in the direction of Dr. Bobby's interview on using creativity to cope with holiday stress. Another self-help theme that emerged during the 12 Days of Holiday Stress Relief Audio Summit was the importance of self-care. Now, self-care over the holidays can take many forms. It might be lightening your load with more reasonable expectations for the holiday season, or doing something special for your own pleasure or comfort. I'm also pleased to share we had 2 interviews that highlighted neurodiversity. We had Kristen Kalia's interview on managing the holiday overwhelm for ADHD moms, and Miera Greenfeld's talk about reducing holiday overwhelm for parents with autistic children. Another important theme that was woven into many of the interviews was the idea of focusing on what really matters underneath it all this holiday season. The final talk of the summit with Dayla Haymeyer really set us up for success with honing in on our personal values to help disrupt holiday stress. Now, I'm also really excited to let you know that not only did our guest experts share their wisdom and actionable tips with us, but some of the guest experts also put together special gifts for listeners of the audio summit. So you get to walk away with all these insights and actual tangible gifts to help you navigate stress during the holiday season and all year long. I don't know about you, but I know I love free gifts. To get access to all this amazing support, please head on over to psychope.com/12 days to register for your free access to the private podcast. Now, I'm keeping this episode short and sweet because there is so much goodness waiting for you over on that private podcast. As we wind down, though, I want to extend wishes of joy and peace to all of you this holiday season. Thank you so much for tuning into our show. I'll be back during that week in between Christmas and New Year's, that time where we never know what day it is anyways. I'll be back with an episode on bringing self-compassion to New Year's resolutions or personal goals any time of the year. Much peace till next time. The information shared on the PsycHope Self-Help podcast is done so with the understanding that it does not constitute professional help, nor is it a substitute for professional help. If you think you might benefit from more than self-help,
There are resources listed in the show notes.